All right. What is good? What is good? What is good? Ladies and gentlemen, of course, you know who I is, the good doc, Dr. Mike, back again, once again, with another classic, and I mean classic live stream for that ass today. Like I say, I sincerely hoped everybody is blessed. Sincerely hoped everybody's having a good one. The good doc is having a great one. Good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like I've been away for so long. I haven't done a live stream in a couple days, and whenever I don't get a chance to get in the live stream, I get that itch, people. And when I come back, you know I always come back better than ever. So with that being said, let's do the official time check. 8:35 in the p.m. Eastern Standard, which makes it about 7:35 p.m. Central, which makes it about 5:35 for everybody repping that West Coast, and of course 8:35 in the a.m. Philippine Standard Time. Wherever you are reporting in the world today, maraming salamat sa lahat. Thank you guys for joining the good Dr. Mike TV on this particular live stream. Again, I got an announcement coming out tomorrow morning. Some people already know about it, but wait for the video tomorrow morning. There's a major announcement coming out, and I hope that you guys make sure you stay tuned and listen for that one. All right, that's all I'm gonna say on that. All right, giving shout out to wherever you guys are reporting. Ahmed Global, what's going on? I'm glad to see you're motivated to come to the Philippines. My boy Reggie Dollars, always good to see you. Christian, he says, is a threesome with Filipinas unrealistic? You know what? I will answer that question later. I got to get my spiel out the way, but when I go through the comments, I'll come back and I'll answer that, okay? But shout out to my boy all the way from Michigan, USA. Shout out to you, Ahmed. Appreciate you, my boy Eyes On. Good to see you guys in the building. So let's go ahead and rip this some bitch off like a band-aid. Do foreigners or do foreign men have unrealistic dating expectations for Filipinas? Let me say that one more time because I love to repeat myself. I think I have Tourette syndrome or some shit like that. What's good, Essential Classics? I see you, family. Do foreign men have unrealistic expectations for Filipinas? All right. Now, if you guys read the thumbnail, for many of you guys who had a chance to see the thumbnail for this video, let me say something real quick because the thumbnail seems to really hint at a lot of real damn things. Okay. The thumbnail says expectations are the root of all heartache. Let me say that one more time. Having expectations is normally the root of all heartache. Something to that effect. And I feel like truer words have never been spoken, ever. Shout out to my boy Freddie Basin for the great state of North Carolina. You know me, I'm funny. I like to laugh. I love to have a good time. And if there is one thing, and I mean one thing that makes me laugh more than anything in the world, is when I hear the dating requirements that women have for guys in the Western world. There is nothing that makes me happier. There's nothing that makes me laugh more. Adrian, I appreciate you subscribing. But there is nothing that makes me happier or makes me laugh harder than when I hear the dating requirements from women in the West. Come on, guys. You already know what they are. They always have to have a guy that's like 6'5" and built like The Rock, making $100,000 minimum a year, have their own mansion, a beautiful car. You know, there are these unrealistic expectations. NY Mets fan, I see your family. But for some reason, when I hear about the dating criteria for women in the West, there always seems to be a high expectation for the men that they choose to date. They have to be secure. Nothing wrong with that. But they're talking about they have to make a minimum of a certain amount of money per year. They have to be a certain height. They have to be this. They have to be that. And when I hear it, it makes me laugh. There's nothing more entertaining than when I hear the dating criteria for women in the West. And I have concluded that this is the reason most women in the West are single and will remain this way for the rest of their lives. And the reason that is simply because they have such unrealistic expectations for the men that they want to be with. Gentlemen, you know this. Come on, man. Let's be honest. Everybody talks about the 80-20 rule. You understand? 80% of women want only 20% of the men. Shout out to my big brother, O'Shea Duke Jackson, for dropping that knowledge. Or I think he said he got it from Obsidian. But he said the 80-20 rule is 80% of women only want 20% of men. So basically, and I'm not saying this pertains to you specifically. What's going on, fellow traveler? I'm not saying this pertains to you specifically. But let's be honest with one another. Most of us do not meet the dating criteria for women in the West. Correct me if I'm wrong. The majority of us, and myself included, okay? This isn't just about y'all. This is about me too. But for the most part, If you look at the dating criteria, it must be 6'5", built like The Rock, making $100,000 a year with a nice house and a nice car and all of that shit included, materialistic and all. Most of us will not meet that dating criteria. And because we don't meet it, these unrealistic expectations are the reasons that these women will probably remain single for the rest of their lives. Then you wonder why you can't find a good man. You find a good man, but he's a little shorter. You overlook him. You find a good man, he makes the money, but there's something else about him that you don't like. The shit just goes sideways. You understand? So when we talk about the unrealistic dating expectations for women in the West, that's kind of what we refer to. Now that we've gotten that out the way, Doc had to get that out the way. Let's talk about us as gentlemen. All right. Let's talk about us as foreigners in the Philippines and those that come to the Philippines with this wide-eyed mentality and they're ready to go. And because of what we have heard, we tend to believe that it must be true on all fronts. When it comes to dealing with Filipinas, from what the majority of the men have heard through YouTube videos or books written and everything like that, most guys come to the Philippines with this wide-eyed mentality. Not necessarily the greatest way of going about life, but they come through wide-eyed and ready to go. Not wrong with that. I mean, I admire your anticipation. I admire your how can I say this? Your motivation to get things right. I admire and I respect you guys. But sometimes what you hear about Filipinas may not always be true. But let's talk about our expectations for Filipinas. I think this is something that is really true when it comes across. When we set our general criteria for Filipinas and the women that we want to be with, most of the time we say, well, we kind of want our Filipinas to be the supermodel type, probably between 4'11" and 5'5", petite, able to cook and clean. Education is not really a big factor. It could or could not be for some. And then plus we add in a couple of other things, right? And to be honest though, let's focus on that. Let's say you want a supermodel type, 4'11", between 4'11" and 5'5", petite, able to cook and clean. Education is not really a big deal. You can go with it or go without it. And then a couple of other things you add on. Let's talk about that. For the most part, we know that it is not too far-fetched of a criteria for a Filipina. What I've just mentioned is not too far-fetched of a criteria for Filipinas. I mean, but no one takes into account the adjustment period that you have to deal with when it comes to Filipinas. Anything physical or anything that they can do, like not physical labor, but anything that they could do for you and things like that, as far as how they look physically, physical feature-wise. Like I said, this is not too far-fetched for us to believe to be an unrealistic expectation. But it's not all peaches and cream, ladies and gentlemen. It is not. Because women are women. Anywhere in the world that you go, women are women. If they won't get mad with you or give you an attitude, if you believe that they won't get mad at you or give you serious attitude, you are sadly mistaken, my friend. You are sadly fucking mistaken if you believe that Filipinas won't give you attitude, they won't give you lip, they won't give you a hard time from, every now and again. They may fit the criteria physically, but now we're talking about the behavior, the attitude-wise, the things that make Filipinas who they are. And if you believe that they're all going to be submissive, we've had this conversation. You have sincerely overstepped your boundaries in reference to your expectations for Filipinas. I think that if you think they won't give you an attitude or, hold on, let me say this one more time. I got to get my words right. If you think that if they give you attitude, you're just going to replace them, because a lot of guys believe, man, all she has to do is mouth off to me one time, man, and it's a wrap. If you believe that, you'll be doing a lot of replacing because you will have some issues at some point. In every relationship that I've ever been in every relationship that any foreigner has ever been in with a Filipina, I can honestly tell you that they can tell you that they've never had an issue one time with their female. Not at all. You can honestly never tell me that a Filipina's never taught back, that she's never had an opposing opinion or something. Unless this girl is just, I don't know. It's just hard to believe that you'll be with a Filipina that doesn't give you any pushback one way or another at least one time in your life. And if you think that every time she pushes back, that you're just going to replace her and everything like that, then you're going to be doing a lot of replacing, because in a relationship, like we say, it's 50-50, people. Whenever you're dating Filipinas and you want to get to know her, I mean, shit, of course you want a Filipina that likes what you like, but damn, she got to have a mind of her own too, right? You don't just want a mindless zombie, because if you get that, what purpose does it serve? to an extent. I mean, some people are cool with it, but I kind of feel like the dating expectations are where, well, when I say that, the expectations are unrealistic, I'm saying that most foreigners believe they won't give them drama. Filipinas, of course, won't bring drama, won't bring issues. But in reality, that is definitely far from the truth. And when it happens to most guys, they don't exactly know how to handle it. You understand? That's the truth that I'll spit right now. That is the knowledge that I'll leave you with. When it comes down to it, if you don't believe that a Filipino is going to give you hell at least once in your life, you're sadly mistaken. But I think the real issue and the unrealistic expectations come when you don't necessarily know how to handle the woman and how she chooses to act in a certain relationship. That's where the unrealistic expectations come from. But again, I'm one man with one opinion. Again, if you've been through situations and everything has been peaches and cream from beginning to end, who am I to say? All I'm saying is I want you to be real. I want you to be realistic in how you basically approach everything in life. I want you to be realistic in the women that you choose to be with. You gonna sit there? El goes, I know, man. I had to say something real. I had to correct myself because some guys want that shit. Some guys want a woman that doesn't, that's just there to listen and do as you say. And I mean, yeah, that may be good in the beginning, but after a while, what purpose does it serve you after that? That's all I'm saying. I mean, maybe, just maybe the doc is off because I know there are a lot of guys that be like, man, damn, I want my woman to be like that. If she don't talk to me, the less talking, the better. Huh? All I needed to do is cook and clean and XYZ and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I got it. I'm not dumb. I played this game before. I'll play it again. But I'm saying, though, if you think that you're not going to have issues in your relationship, if you think that one way or another she's not going to get upset over something that you've done or something that you've did, you're sadly mistaken. And I believe that's where the unrealistic expectations lie for your average foreigner. They always believe that they are supposed to be one way and one way only. And when the woman presents a completely different attitude, does a complete 180, nobody knows what to do then. It's funny. I can tell you a lot of times when, like back in the day, not so much now, but when I was really starting this, people would email me and they'll be like, man, my girl just, she's not what I thought she would be. And I would ask him, I was like, what exactly did you think she would be? And he'd be like, man, well, from what I heard, man, they were like, man, these women are like this, these women are like that. And I had to stop him right there. I'm like, bro, you honestly believe in everything that these men say about Filipinas online? You can't believe everything that you hear all the time. What do we say, ladies and gentlemen? There is nothing more concrete than what you can experience yourself. What do we call it? Boots on the ground. You know the game. We've said it a million times and a million times again. There's nothing more concrete than having your own experiences. You can't just live vicariously through others and expect it all to be the way you want it to be. All right. So that's just my spiel for the moment. I know I talk too much, y'all. Y'all get over it. Anyways, let's see. We got 22 watching. I appreciate all 22 of y'all coming through and showing love to the good doc, Dr. Mike TV. I feel like I've been away for a while, but I am so glad to be back with you guys. Again, 21 watching. Let me see how many likes we got because I am not there yet. Once I figure it out, I'm probably going to be disappointed. 14 out of 21. You know what? I ain't even mad, yo. We'll take that. I appreciate all of y'all coming through. Y'all make sure y'all caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. It wants it. It needs it. Most definitely has to have it. Again, don't hesitate to do it. And for those that want to support the good doc, please feel free to do so. But of course, I'm happy that you come through. Spend just a little bit of time with me today. Nayon Den. Not going to take up too much of your time, but we're definitely going to have some fun. So let's go ahead and run to the chat real quick. Trying to figure out, gotta hit buttons and stuff. Like I said, I'm Med Global, man. I appreciate you coming through and spending some time with us. I know I got my boy Reggie. My man Christian says, is a threesome with Filipinas unrealistic? If you pay for it, probably not. You understand? It'll probably not be expensive for you to pay for one. But if you're thinking that you're going to be in a relationship with a Filipina and she's naturally just going to be okay with the idea of you trying to bring in some extra young ladies to the table, I'm not going to say that's going to go over well. That's the only way I can tell you that. If you think that she's just going to be okay with you trying to bring in somebody extra to the table, I'm not sure how she's going to respond. I can give you an idea or a hint, but even I don't know. So you might have to take that one with a grain of salt personally. Like I said, you could always pay to have one if you want. not gonna hurt you at all, man. There's a lot of places you can partake in said activity. All right. My man Reggie said you're here at the end of the month. That's what's up, man. Halloween, we're gonna be tricking and treating in the Philippines. Y'all know what's good. Adrian, I appreciate you coming through, man. Adrian, some guys do expect to have that activity on the first date. It's funny as hell that they think so, but you understand the mentality that these guys come to the country with really does play into the ideology that Filipinos are easy and Filipinos are this, that, and the other. I'll never sit here and tell you that you're not going to have a good time here if you know how to conduct yourself accordingly. I'm not going to tell you that if you know how to use your words and you find yourself in the right situation at the right time, that anything can happen. I mean, because it can. I mean, Philippines is a place where dreams come true for a lot of people. And then on the flip side, it's a place where a lot of nightmares happen as well. But for you to come through with that particular expectation, yes, the expectation of getting some on the first date, you are sadly mistaken. Not saying that it won't happen. I'm just saying that in all likelihood, unless it's paid for, it may not be something you should look forward to on date one. That's all I will say. MD, yes, Western women make me laugh. They deserve a huge hearty har from me, because they got some serious expectations that probably no man can live up to. Very few. Like I said, the 80-20 rule definitely exists. Essential Classics, he says, I've come to the conclusion that outside of height, I don't meet the criteria. You understand? It's just, these criteria are a lot for a man to, take in. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a lot for a man to take in. I'm not saying that there's leeway in those rules. It's just few and far between. You have women that are willing to compromise on certain things. Not too many of them are willing to compromise on height. It's funny, they say 6'5", but they like 5 foot themselves, right? You see, have you ever stood next to somebody and somebody's like 6'5" and they're standing next to somebody like 5 foot? How ridiculous that looks to me. But because that's the way that they want it to be, so be it. And again, you want to know why most of these women remain single? There they go. That is the conclusion of them all. Most of them remain single simply because a lot of men can't meet the regular height requirement. My man MD says you have to be a thug with a nice job and 6-figure income too. Ain't that bad a bitch, man? That's too much work, man. I'm sorry. I'm good. I'd rather not play the thug rule. I pass. I don't think I fit that criteria at all. Shout out to the homie Edward Crandell. Appreciate you coming through. My man Chaz, I see you in the building. Christian says, where in the Philippines can I find dark-skinned Filipinas? I'm a black dude and I prefer brown and Filipinas. Personally, go to any provincial area and you're likely to find them. Mostly in the province, not so much in the city areas. That's just my only way of saying it. Wherever you choose to go, find the nearest province. But be careful, though. You can't just jump the gun and run to the nearest province without, no making sure that it's a, relatively safer place to visit for yourself, okay? My man Izon says, I think my new Filipina just broke up with me because I refused to buy a pig for her baby's first birthday. Izon, that is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. You bring up a great point that I have never, actually I have talked about this one, but it was a video too many years ago. I never understood the reason why Filipinas celebrate first birthdays and stuff and they have parties and karaoke and shit, knowing damn well that baby ain't gonna remember that birthday. Huh? That baby, that red horse is not for that baby. That karaoke machine is not for that baby. That's for y'all. Y'all doing that shit for y'all. Y'all ain't doing it for the child. Unless you're taking pictures. Like, if you want to get the baby a cake, the baby probably can't even eat the damn cake. But you gonna get her a cake, right? And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is that child gonna do with that cake? He ain't gonna eat it himself. Most of the things that Filipinos do for the most part is for themselves, not necessarily for the baby. All right. So that's funny. And you shouldn't have bought the pig anyways. Pigs are expensive. Motherfuckers cost. I think a small pig costs about $3,000. Easy. I used to know people who had pig farms and those shits ain't cheap. But during graduations and during birthdays, that's a very popular commodity, getting a whole pig and roasting it, putting it out there for people to get. No doubt. Anyways, shout out to my boy Dante Will. Appreciate you coming through. Doc just saying his piece. My man Charlie, what's going on? He says, oh yeah, and they can and will give you attitude. Don't think that they won't. Yes, Filipinas are synonymous for giving you attitude. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but nobody listens to me. I'm just a young dude that don't know shit about shit. So if you want to play that and you want to believe it, so be it. I'll just go ahead and continue talking my shit until you finally get it. Sometimes it takes me to say a couple things a couple times for people to actually take it seriously. My man MD says, get ready to argue a lot when you're with a Filipino woman. These foreigners are in for a rude awakening. Again, your average foreigner, man, what do? They want to replace them. They're like, man, I ain't got time for this shit. You want to talk to me? You want to talk back to me? You go on, get now. You just get out my way. I'm done with you, ho. Whatever. Use bitch, ho, and all this shit. I'm like, bruh, you're going to be doing a lot of replacing if you think for a split second that woman ain't going to give you no attitude, boy. I'm not going to say she going to give you the head roll, but you definitely going to catch some hell from time to time. And for any guy who sits there and tells me that they don't catch hell, they lying to you or they're lying to themselves. I don't know. They're lying to you or they're lying to themselves, all right? Let's keep it moving, man. El Ghost, yeah, I had to rephrase my wording on that one. My man Christian says, I'm flying to the Philippines this year. All right, man. He says, I'm thinking Angeles, but I've heard Manila is good too. Which is better for my trip? Christian, if you want to ask me specifically between those two places, Angeles City and Manila, if you're asking me for those two places alone, it depends on what you're looking to do, man. If you just want to have a good time and you don't mind hanging out in the bars and stuff, I think Angeles City provides the better atmosphere for the bar lifestyle. Personally, for me, with how can I say this? With the bar scene in Manila, they shut down a lot of bars, so you're basically stuck in one particular area if you're looking for that particular lifestyle. Like I said, I'm just assuming that is what you're talking about, but if that's the case, yeah, I think Angeles is your best bet for that particular lifestyle, because if not, you got to travel all over Manila, and Manila's huge as hell to get to where you want to be at. So, yeah. Also, I don't know how you feel, like what other activities you might be interested in, but if that's where you want to be at, so be it. I'm not going to come between you if those are your only two options, man. My man Izon says he likes a Filipino who got fire, probably a little spark in it. I do too. He said, I hate wimp ass women. Look, and I'm the same way, man. I can't front, man. I am the exact same way. And the reason I'm the exact same way is because when I'm not with my girl, I need to know that she can defend herself. I need to know that she can take up for herself. And trust me, I don't call her the mean princess for nothing. She's not the mean one for no reason. That motherfucker is mean. She is nasty. And she has no problem. And I repeat this, I'll say it wholeheartedly. She has no problem digging in somebody's ass if they need to get it. She don't fuck with me like that, of course. But I mean, don't get me wrong. We have our fair share of disagreements. And I mean, shit, we get over it. It's just the way that our relationship works itself out. But you want a girl that's definitely going to be able to have a backbone. Somebody who can, fight with you and fight for you all in the same breath. I want somebody who's going to defend me against people. And she has zero problem doing it. Again, you got to make sure you have somebody in your corner that could speak up for you just in case your Tagalog or your Visayan is horrible. You need somebody to talk up for you. So it's always good to have a girl who has a fucking spine, people. That's all I'm going to tell you. My boy Reggie says, oh, I'm sorry. My man Tommy, what's good with you, bro? He says women are women the world around. True, they are. Don't think that they're any different just because they're Filipina. Trust me on that one. My man Reggie says, take the listener's advice to dump the girl that was stressing me that I hadn't met physically. She was insecure and hadn't met her physically, but they're in 3 weeks planning to get some drinks with you. Reggie, enjoy yourself, my friend. Life is too short. I wouldn't let a chick stress me that I'm not getting any from. I'm just going to be honest with you. If I'm not hitting it, there's no way in this world I'm letting a girl stress me out, okay? And I think that is the best thing for you, for your peace of mind and your sanity. All right, just go there and meet girls while you're there. I mean, that's the best thing for you. I mean, committing yourself to something you haven't been physically with yet, it's not really a good idea for any man. My man Ahmed says, I want to think Filipina, not fat. And you can find that here, ironically. That's really the truth. I think you can find it. personally. All right, my man MD says arguing is like a sport to a Filipino woman. Get ready to do a lot of that. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. And you know, like I said, it's all respect at the end of the day. She gonna play her part as long as you play yours, man. That's the best way for me to put it. But yes, man, arguing is part of a relationship. Probably part of any relationship. I think finding a docile chick that ain't gonna do any of that nonsense is scary to me. If she's not gonna argue with me, I'm scared because that's the type of bitch that'll probably slit your throat in your sleep. If you have an argument with your woman, or if you're arguing at your girl or talking down to her and you're arguing and she doesn't say nothing, she kind of cowing everything in the argument, that's the type of girl you need to be careful of. I'm telling you, because one day you're gonna be asleep and she gonna she gonna take your ass out while you sleep, or she gonna poison your food. That's the type of energy I get from ladies who are very docile or very submissive. Once they hit their breaking point, they won't argue back with you. They'll just slip something in your food when they're cooking it for you, or they'll just take your ass out in your sleep. And who's gonna have your back, especially in the Philippines? Come on now. All they got to do is say, "Oh, well, she was always being emotionally abused, and just one day she snapped." Fuck out of here, man. I've seen it happen to the best of them. Trust me. Y'all think I'm playing, but if you get with a chick that won't argue with you back, you better sleep with one eye open, people. I'd rather my girl argue with me back, so at least I know how she feels. Because when you don't get no emotional response from her, that's rough. Because now you don't know where her mind is. You just see her being quiet and she just taking an argument, man. Like, what the fuck? Nah. You better tell me what's on your mind. Because if I have to sit there and listen to you or argue with you and there's no response back, that shit's scary to me. That's all. That's it. Ray, man, you let me know who wins that fight, man. What's good? Or that match. I'm sorry, that basketball match. The Lakers versus the Warriors. Let me know who wins. Lamont Taylor was good with you, man. He says, I'm going back to Manila because Angeles is too wild. Lamont, you asked and you shall receive, man. Angeles City is a place, dude. Be careful. As a man, all I can tell you to do is be careful, bruh. I love y'all to death, but just watch yourselves, all right? Guys, I see we got 23 watching. I appreciate all 23 of y'all coming through and showing love. Guys, make sure you get the likes up, man. I see 19 likes. I would appreciate a little more. And if you guys want to support the channel, please feel free to do so. Good Doc is happy that you come through, spend a little bit of time today. Guys, I got an announcement coming out tomorrow morning. I made a video for it. You guys will hear about it. Some guys already know about it in advance, but, you know, we got some shit coming up for you guys tomorrow. So make sure you wait for the video. 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Sunday morning, I guess. Yeah, man, we got some shit coming. Can't wait to deliver it for sure. I cannot wait for you guys to hear it. Ahmed says, where do you think is the best city in the Philippines? See, Ahmed, that is a hard decision to say because I will always say Davao City, and everybody knows that I have a bias towards Davao City. But again, the best city definitely depends on your lifestyle and the things that you like to do. That's all I can say. That's what it depends on. But everybody knows that I'll always say Davao, so that's why I won't say Davao, even though I just said Davao. Shout out to my boy Tim H. What's good with you, bro? I appreciate you coming through. Fellow traveler says Zamboanga City is rated #1 for most beautiful ladies. Unfortunately, that is one place I refuse to take my black ass. So I'm never going to see how beautiful they are unless they bring themselves outside of Zamboanga to a place where I feel comfortable going. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. For me personally, some people say, oh, it's safe, you could go there. I'm just not willing to take my chances, you know. That's just truth. All right. My man Adrian says the good thing in the Philippines, if you get knocked back, they let you down easy. Yes, they are not mean about letting you down. Had a girl the other day, not the other day, but I had a girl tell me no thank you. I was like, yo, I would love to text you sometime. She said, no, thank you. I said, can I get your number? She's like, no, thank you. I'm like, damn, that's it. That hurt my feelings, but at least I wasn't too hurt about it, you know? Again, if they do let you down, they definitely let you down easy. Shout out to the homie Big Brother. What's good with you, man? My man Edward Crandell, birthdays are like Christmas to them. They will cancel exams in schools to celebrate a kid's birthday. It's a proven fact. Yes. I mean, and somebody explained to me, I when I made the video about this, somebody wrote in my comment section, they were like, it has something to do with the celebration of life. Like when they celebrate babies' monthsaries, like monthsaries and shit, like the baby's 1 month, 2 month, 3 months and shit of being old. I guess it has something to do along the lines of, and do not quote me on this, it has something to do with maybe before or a time before babies were not given survival rates or something like larger. I don't know when this was. Don't quote me on this, but something to the effect of the survival rate of children back in the day. Babies died. So I guess every month is a celebration for the baby and all that good shit. So every time it gets older or whatever, once it reaches its first year, then they start celebrating every year after it makes it to its first year of being alive. And I'm like, okay, I can respect that. I mean, I can see it. I don't necessarily understand it, but I can see it. So, they do celebrate, and they celebrate heavy for the baby birthday. And I ain't mad at it. I mean, shit, people leave to go to the province to celebrate a baby's birthday. So it must mean something to them. Like I said, I had never heard of monthsaries until I got to the Philippines. Like, what the fuck is a monthsary? We have to celebrate every month of us being together? What kind of shit is that? I've heard of anniversaries, but I ain't never heard of no monthsary. But yeah, man, every month I greet my young lady, happy monthsary. I don't do nothing special. But shit, once you've been in a relationship for a significant amount of time, after a while, it's just like, man, fuck it. I love you, girl. Why I gotta prove it? You want to go out and do something special, let's go do something. But most of the time I just greet. But anyways, again, back to the topic, do foreign men have unrealistic expectations for Filipinas? I think to an extent we do. And the only unrealistic expectation that we have, as previously mentioned, is the simple fact that we believe that all of these women are submissive, that all of these women are definitely, how can I say this? They're willing to do everything that we say, and they're not going to argue back. And I think that is truly the most unrealistic aspect of being in a relationship with a Filipino, if you ask yours truly. My boy Essential Classics, should I rent a place or stay in the hotel when I visit the Philippines? Depends on how long you're staying. If you're only there for a couple weeks, like I said, I do AirBNBs, man. If I'm there for a long period of time, Airbnbs. If I'm there for like 5 days or something like that, yeah, I'd probably just, settle into a hotel and be good to go. Like I said, but with Airbnbs, you got to know your area where you're going to spend the majority of your time at. That way you can find a place or a location near that particular area. It's just about doing your due diligence. But honestly, I think over time, Airbnbs are cheaper than hotels, depending on the area, of course. But yeah, it does depend on you, man, and how long you plan on staying personally. My man Ozon says, I'm going to the Philippines to bring in the new year. All right, man, that's what's up. He says, I hear New Year's Eve is off the hook in the Philippines. Yes. Don't come to Davao during New Year's. You'll be bored as hell. They don't do fireworks in Davao. But in Manila, oh yeah, man, those fireworks are popping. I mean, it's all night, man. They do that for Christmas too. That's the weird thing. I'm like, you see all fireworks for Christmas too? I just think they just bored as hell. They need something to do. So you'll hear them doing fireworks during Christmas time too. But yes, the New Year's do be popping in the Philippines, man. Them firecrackers ain't nothing to play with. Shout out to my boy Car Hauler, Mr. Papadapa himself. I see you in the building. Hey, man, I think all women like it. It's just they all have a specific criteria of the type of men that they want to basically proceed with said act. If you ask me, I'm just saying. I'm no expert, but I know a little something about a little something. My boy Ahmed was good with you. He says, where would you recommend for a first timer who's only coming for the women? Angeles City. I can't lie, man. Ahmed, it is AC all the way. If you're literally just coming for the women, that's probably the best place to go. If you're looking for relationship stuff, something down the line, something serious, nah, that's not the place. But if you're definitely just coming for the women, AC is the place to be, man, because everybody is well understood about what goes down in AC. There is no confusion. There is no ifs, ands, or asses about it. Everybody knows why we go to AC. All right, so there's no confusion. There's no need to explain what you want. Most people already know what you're there to do, so kind of makes it easier. Kind of makes it an easier transition. Also, P. Burgo Street, I mean, in Manila, you can get the same, but that's just, well, I guess Walking Street is almost just one street too. So I don't know, man. I think AC is wild as hell, though, man. You got to prepare yourself. Lamont, you are not lying, my friend. AC is the place to be, and that shit get wild, my dude. wild. And I ain't even fronting, man. I think it's probably the greatest place to go if you're looking to just hook up with girls. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you about it. If you're willing to sit there and talk and have a conversation with women and, you know, make the transition that way, you could choose any place in the Philippines and you're likely gonna accomplish that. You know, just got to be good with your words and communication. I think that should be a non-factor in, you know, being able to get with women. My boy Eyes On says lots of people told me that I've been to the Philippines, but never for New Year's. I love New Year's. I'm not gonna lie. New Year's is definitely great. It truly is. Yes. Fellow travelers telling the homie to stay home. I agree. I mean, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into, or just ask the right people, man. I kind of feel like once you ask 10, 20 people and you kind of, how can I say this? Once you ask enough people and you get a general baseline of what things might be like, you'll pretty much get an idea of what to expect, but you definitely don't want to get burned. And for some reason, I don't understand when men go to AC, they always seem to come back with the wildest stories, number one, and they always talk about what they lost. There was always a loss in the process, and I'm trying to figure out what happened. Most of them tell you, Doc, I don't know what happened, man. One thing led to another, and the shit got crazy. And that's my only fear about people going to AC, especially my newbies. My only fear. Because if you're down there, you just ain't gonna know what the hell is going on until you get there. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You're not gonna know what AC is like or what it's about until you physically get there. And it may be too much for your average. It can be too much for your average. You're surrounded by nothing but foreigners, though, let's be honest. But it might be too much for your average. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Fellow traveler, he says the dress code, color of skin, stature of the ladies will size you up and put you in a category. Yeah. I mean, are you talking about Western women? Yeah, we all fucked up over there, but I don't care. Either way, I'm winning. I'm happy, so I'll be all right. My boy Tim says there is a fine line between love, hate, jail, and freedom. Shit, I ain't going to jail for that shit. I'm good. I don't like jail. I ain't never been, don't plan on going. Shout out to my boy Andy, man. What's good with you, bro? Long time no see. Showing love to the good dog. Appreciate you being here, family. You always know how to reach me if you ever need to, man. You know where the Facebook is at, so you reach out to the good dog if you ever want to talk, man. Jared, you about to touch down to Davao in 17 days? That's what's up, family. Yeah, man. I think you're gonna have fun, bro. I really do. I think you're gonna have a great time. Fellow traveler. My man Andy says I'm just listening while chatting with a new chick. Andy, you didn't explain to me what happened to the old chick, bro. You gotta hit me up in the mail, man. Let me know what happened. Anyways, shout out to my boy SML. Much love to you, man. He says, SML says, seems like it goes both ways. Some men expect a maid with benefits, and she wants the fairy tale forward a relationship. It is true. Filipinos do have high expectations of foreigners too. We've talked about that briefly in the past. I can't tell you how many videos ago it was, but definitely there is a high expectation that foreigners definitely have for Filipinos, and vice versa, what Filipinos have for foreigners. Like you said, they're looking for the white knight, and when they don't get this rich ass foreigner that they expected to take care of them and the family and all of that shit, and they realize that reality is not exactly what it is, all of a sudden everybody got their panties in a bunch. Everybody got their nose turned up like they mad now. I'm like, why you mad for? Nobody told you to believe what everybody else said. Nobody told you to believe that the way that this particular relationship works out is the way that it's going to work out for you too. Come on, buddy. Come on. Let's be honest with each other. Let's not act like we're dumbfounded that a relationship doesn't last or that a relationship isn't what you expected it to be. That's because you expected it to be something that it wasn't. Nobody told you to expect shit. But, you know, to each their own, man. You can have that expectation if you want to. Sometimes Filipinas, if you're not careful, that expectation can come back and bite you in the ass. And the reason it'll bite you in the ass is because if a foreigner knows, and I'm just saying this out loud, it's probably a bunch of dudes in here. I got 27 watching. There's probably a couple ladies out there in the background who can hear what the good doc is saying. Hey, ladies, appreciate y'all being here. But ladies, I'm going to be honest with you. Foreigners are very cunning and conniving. Just gonna be honest. I love my guys, you know I do, but I have to say this. If a foreigner is well aware that you're looking at him like the jackpot or whatever it may be, he could use that to his advantage. Because if he can convince you that he's definitely what you think that he is, even though he's not, you don't think that he's going to probably put that in the foreground and actually use that to his advantage to finesse getting some ass out of you? You sadly mistaken if you think not. I've known a lot of foreigners to abuse the game. And if he knows that you're looking at him that way, you're like, fuck it, man, I might as well utilize it, get what I need, and then bounce. Shit, she's probably going to give it up to me anyways because she believes that I am this type of person. Even though I am not. As long as she believes it, I can use that to my advantage and take advantage of the situation. That's it. It's just the truth. Whether you like it or not, it's a cold hard truth, ladies. If you can sit there and believe that this foreigner is expected to be this type of person, expected to have this behavior and attitude, and expected to do this and that for you, and he doesn't do it, all of a sudden, oh, foreigners are raw, oh, this way, and oh, I don't like them, they only want sex. No, bitch. You just came into the game, you expected him to be a way that he was not, and all of a sudden you get burned. Now we're looking bad. Vice versa. Guys come to the Philippines. Oh, man, I thought this Filipino was going to do this for me. She didn't do that for me. All she did was take advantage of me, this, that, and the other. All Filipinos are gold digger scammers, XYZ, and 1, 2, 3. Now you see how these particular relationships manifest themselves. Actually, if you want to know the truth, I believe it all stems from the expectations that us gentlemen have for our women, in the Philippines more specifically. It does. The expectations lead to disappointment. That disappointment leads to videos on YouTube about scamming and cheating and all that other bullshit, you know? If you ask me. But again, I'm just one person. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. 24 watching, 22 likes. I can live with that. My man MD. I'm sorry, fellow traveler, you're right though, man. She is expecting to hit the jackpot. And again, if she expects that and it doesn't work, My boy MD says that's the biggest mistake a foreigner can make. Thinking that Filipinos are submissive is not true at all. Compared to Western women, they seem like they are, but that's about it. It's just an expectation. It might look like they are because they're not as combative to an extent. I don't think Filipinos are as combative as women in the West, but to think that they're not going to give you a headache and a half, you're sadly mistaken on that front, man. No doubt in my mind. My man Christian says, is the SM Clark Mall the best place to pick up girls in AC? Probably. I don't know. I mean, you could always go to the bar, but I mean, and if you're trying to go to the mall, it's probably not bad. I haven't been there in a long time, but it was a pretty beautiful mall when I went there the last time, but that was some years back, so I don't know. Fellow traveler says the girls are mongering, but fellow traveler, that's what my man Christian is looking for. He's just literally going to the Philippines, as I assume, to look for women. And if that is your expectation, then you're good. If you're looking for something other than mongering, then you might want to go into another area. AC is not the place to be if you're looking for something other than mongering, for sure. My man, Mr. Carl Harlan says, Dr. Mike, do Filipinos ever try to take another Filipina's man? Yes. Mr. Carl Harlan. Yes. Yes, 100% of the time. Dude, when I was single, I was probably getting, a couple girls here and there and all of this. I had my fair share. Don't get me wrong. But when I was in when I first got into my relationship, everybody want to come. They all want to come out then. Because now they see I'm with somebody. Now all of a sudden, I'm a hot commodity because I belong to somebody else now. So yeah, if you want to make a Filipina jealous, or if you want to get more girls, get you a girl. I know that's a wrong philosophy, but in hindsight, I've noticed that you get a lot more attention when you're seen out and about with when you're out and about with your girl. You get a lot more attention. I think it's funny, it's entertaining. I'm good. It's just something to give me, it's just something to laugh at personally for myself. But, over time, you do realize that you get more attention when you're in a relationship than when you're not in one. Now, there are some that have a lot of respect. There are some that won't mess with you if you have a young lady. But for those that don't give a fuck, oh, yeah, man, you can expect that 100%. And I do believe that the 80-20 rule, I'm not going to say that because that's probably wrong. I was going to say the 80-20 rule applies to the Philippines, but probably not. I'll probably go out on a limb and say that they don't just want 20% of the men, but they'll definitely want the men that are already in a relationship because they know that these particular foreigners are capable of settling down. They're capable of trying to stick to one. They're capable of, okay, well, I see him in a relationship with this girl. I want a relationship with a foreigner too, and I see he's capable of being in a relationship, so why can't he be in a relationship with me? You know, they kind of add that shit up in their heads. You know, they do their own version of mathematics, and things could get interesting from there. That's all I'm gonna tell you. That's all I will say. But yeah, they do want you when you're in a relationship. So yeah, they are capable of trying to take another Filipinous man, especially if he's foreigner, for sure. I've never seen a Filipina fight physically over a guy. I'm not saying that they don't. I've just never physically seen it. Maybe online they might. I guess. My man Ahmed says, I will try Manila for a week and find a sexy Filipino. Anything's possible, brother, especially in the Philippines, man. But just be realistic in your expectations. That's all I'll tell you. My boy MD says, I definitely would not want to go to a place where I can see a lot of foreigners. It's not my cup of tea either, but what can I say, man? I don't know. Everybody has their place to go. And then, shit, what can we do? What can we do? Everybody has a place where they feel comfortable. So who am I to say, no, don't go here, or don't go there? I can give you the pros and cons of both areas, but that's the best I could do from there. Excuse me. My man Christian says, if SM Clark is hard to pick up in AC, then where? I mean, I'm just, Christian, I guess I'm confused because all I need to know is what kind of women you're looking for, bruh. If you're looking for a good time, the girls in the SM Clark Pampanga Mall are known, or they know mongerers, or so they're okay with the idea of pay for play, I guess, is what my man was trying to say. So if you're into the game or into doing things that way, that shouldn't be an issue. But if you're just trying to pick up, let me get your phone number, take you out sometime, might be a little bit different, because at the end of the day, it's all going to, in a roundabout way, end up probably being an activity that you're going to have to pay for. Up front or on the side. Yeah. My man Izon said, when is the summertime in the Philippines, and is it true it can get up to 120 degrees in the summertime? Summertime in the Philippines, if I remember correctly, somewhere around March or April. In May is the hottest month, and I think that extends somewhere through to like June or July or something like that. Don't get me the lying, but it gets hot as hell in May. April, May, and May is like the hottest month in the Philippines. That shit is ridiculously hot. Like, I don't want to go outside top hot. So, yeah, I'm not sure if it gets up to 120 degrees, but that's not too far-fetched, man. It could be. My man Reggie says he's flying to Manila. My partner said head straight to AC and finish in Manila. He said hit the clubs in Manila on the way out. My thoughts? Shit. If you're all about having fun, AC probably has better bars than Manila does. I think I had fun in the bars in Manila, but I think AC bars are a lot more fun. So I'm not against your partner telling you to go to AC if that is what you're looking for. I don't condone the activity per se, but if that's what you're looking for, AC has better bars. But yeah, it wouldn't hurt you to check them out on the way back. It wouldn't hurt to check out a couple bars in Manila on the way back. And the reason I say that is the Manila bars are few and far between. They've all been condensed to like P. Burgo Street. They shut down a lot of the bars that used to be around the city. So now they're all condensed in like the Makati area or something like that. So yeah, AC is probably a lot more fun than Manila in some people's eyes. So I would just check them both out and see what's going on. I think, yeah, you probably should head on down to AC since it's the furthest place away. And then while you're in there, just before you leave, yeah, do that. Because why would you want to have your fun in Manila? Then you're like, oh man, let me go to AC, then come back and, do it again. So if you're thinking about it from the mapping standpoint, you should go to the furthest place first and then check out the places that is closest to you on your way out. So yeah, it's not always a bad way to think about it. Adrian says there's a way to a Filipino's heart through their. He said the way to a Filipino's heart is through their stomach. Oh yes, Filipinos love to eat, bruh. You said some funny shit, dude. That shit is so true, yo. Dude, I'll say one thing and I'll never repeat this shit a day of my life. Okay, you hear this one time, and I'll never say it again. All right, so if you're listening, listen closely. If there was ever a time when I was skeptical about whether getting from point A to point B was suspect, I used to feed them. Not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. If I was ever suspect about getting from point A to point B, I'd always feed them. There is something about a Filipino on a full stomach that kind of just makes life easier. The Filipina that's been fed, she happy as fuck. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. I'm saying that to be real. There is something about feeding a Filipina that makes the situation so much more easier. Because most of the time, and I hate to say this seems so fucking wrong when I say it, I know, but I'm going to say it. But most of the time, when a Filipina meets a foreigner, they're hungry. And the reason that I say that is likely because they don't eat before they go on a date with the foreigner, with probably the expectation that they're going to eat with the guy. So they likely don't eat a breakfast, or if they do, it's something small like some coffee, some Barako coffee and some pandesal, some bread or something small. So normally when they meet up with a foreigner, whether it be on a date or something like that, they're normally hungry. All right. So once she's fed, I can almost put my life on it that, situations become a little bit more easier that way. So feed a Filipina, and I think you'll see a drastic change in everything that's going down. Just my thoughts. My man Adrian, you said it, man, but you're not wrong. And I've had success a high percentage of the time after Filipinas been fed. No disrespect, but I think Filipinos are no different than anybody else. They love to eat, man. And I'm no different than anybody else too. I love to eat, so it's all good. MD says it's kind of true though. Filipinos do have higher expectations for foreign men than we do for them. Yeah, they just think that we're there to take them out of the country, and sometimes that's not a fair statement. It doesn't give foreigners a fair shake. What if we just want to stay there? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, all right, Andy, you gonna tell me what happened? She cheated with a local because I didn't see her soon enough. Figured that would happen. Her friend says she had a make-believe boyfriend and couldn't wait any longer. Too bad. Thought she was the one. Andy, you can't keep these girls waiting too long, man. I'm telling you, because they're going to lose confidence that you're actually going to come. No disrespect, but it's just the truth, man. Andy, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'll be honest with you. And I'm from one brother to another. You my dude. You've been around for a long time. You've known me since I had 100 subscribers. But let me put it to you in a realest way humanly possible. Okay, I'll put it to you the realest way humanly possible. If you're talking to a young lady for a significant amount of time and you keep making promises that you're going to come, she'll only hold out but for so long. Trust me, I've bagged girls that I probably shouldn't have bagged because they were waiting for a foreigner to show up and he never came. So I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So again, you can't keep them hanging on too long, man, because then they'll stop believing that you're actually going to show up. And that's a damn shame, but it's true. Again, it falls into the line of having that expectation. When you give them the expectation that you're going to come, you got to be realistic in the time frame. You can't keep delaying it because they're going to believe that you're not truthful. Even though you're probably truthful that you are coming, if you don't come soon enough, this shit is gonna hit the fan, man. And that's a damn shame, man. And it sucked that it had to be this way, but it's a live and learn experience, man. Like I said, you got a new one. Just make sure you play this situation a little bit better, and I think you'll do all right, man. I see we got 33 watching. Damn, my bad. 33 watching. Appreciate all 33 of y'all coming through and showing love to the good doc. Please make sure y'all caress, molest, and de-stress that like button. It wants it, it needs it. Most definitely has to have it. Don't worry yourself, family. Doc is always going to be here to give you the best of him 100% of the time. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Just touch it a little bit. You don't have to hurt it, but just give it a little touch. I promise you. You will not regret it. For those that want to support the channel, please feel free to do so. Of course, the good doc is happy that you come through. Spend a little bit of time with him today. Now you're on Den. Guys, if you guys want to get your copy of the BOOTYLOO Chronicles, Foreigner's Guide to the Philippines, you name it, all of that stuff is listed in the link in the description area below. All of my ebooks are there. If you guys want to join the masterclass, bruh, y'all are sleeping on the masterclass. If you haven't been a part of that team yet, make sure you check that out. It should be the first thing mentioned in the description box. Come join us in the masterclass. I promise you, you will not regret that one. We have a great time over there, and we talk about some real shit. Some really, really real shit. So y'all make sure y'all check that stuff out if you get a chance to. I promise you, you will not regret it. Also, I have another Patreon where I just put up some random content that is too hot for YouTube, or shit that I just don't want to put on here because it made people ask too many damn questions. My boy SML says, I was thinking the other day, single mothers be winning though. They know they will have a better life than being alone with no options other than a Filipino man. If they can get a foreigner to work with them, yeah, they do be winning. I give them credit where credit is due. A lot of guys like single mamas. The reason they like single mom I'm sorry. The reason why they like single mothers is because they know they smashing. Hell, you can't have a baby without having sex, right? So a lot of guys have this thought process. Well, damn, at least I know she's fucking. I've seen dudes say that shit to me. That's why I'm laughing. I know it's funny. I know it's a bit absurd and a bit outwardly spoken. I'm sorry if it comes off that way, but I've had guys say I only deal with single mothers because I know they smashing. It's the truth. It's the truth. So I can't be mad. It is what it is. My boy NY, he says a YouTuber did a 3-part series with a Filipino talking about her techniques that she used to scam foreigners. Yo, that shit's for real. It exists. It's crazy, but it does exist. And that is an educational moment. Whoever did that needs to be applauded because they're showing you the game. I know a girl that refused to actually be on camera. She didn't want me to talk about it out loud, but I did mention it in a live stream. And that was it. Like I said, I think that, if you're not careful, you can't get scammed. Pretty much it. Shout out to my boy Jedi. What's good with you, man? My man Christian says Filipinos get pregnant. Thoughts on bringing her back to the West? In my case, the UK. How bad of an idea is that? If she gets pregnant, leave her in the Philippines. And the only reason I'm saying that, I'm not saying that to be rude, but you want to leave her there because things are cheaper in the Philippines. For her to give birth in the Philippines is cheaper. For you to get baby diapers and the formula and all of that shit, it's just cheaper. I know the UK is more expensive than the US, so you can only imagine what it would be like to try to raise a child there. Let her raise that baby in the Philippines. Please come see that baby as often as humanly possible if it is yours. But I think keeping that child in the Philippines is cheaper for you. Now you can move that baby once it gets like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think actually, honestly, they don't recommend you taking the baby out of the country until it's like 7 years old or something like that, from what I've heard. So that definitely plays a role. You might want to keep that child in country until at least the age of 7, get the citizenship that you needed to get for, the UK, and then bring her there afterwards, or bring the baby there at least afterwards. Maybe not the mama. It depends on how much you love the mother, I guess. Jedi says, keep them away from the West if it's possible. Can't disagree more, especially the baby. I think it's just cheaper to raise a child in the Philippines. Let that baby become cultural and shit, I think that's always a positive thing. Culturalize that baby. Where am I at? I gotta read comments, guys. I'm all over the place. He says, so just visit her and the kid. Yeah. If I said it, I'm sorry. Somebody else must have said it, but yeah. Raise that baby in the Philippines for sure. April and May are the hottest months. Exactly. Something like that. Yeah, it gets hot as hell there. Shout out to my boy Travel Squad. I see you. Fellow traveler says, SM Clark is not the place for the numbers. The employees know you're mongering, and the working girls are on their day off, maybe with their families, and not interested in picking up and giving out numbers. Okay. Like I said, you might just want to go to the bar and get it over with. Get some bar girl numbers, man, and then negotiate outside the bar. There you go. Christian says, so all the SM Clark malls has to offer is blue balls. You know what? You're probably right, bro. My man Eyes on said 90 Day Fiance fans, how many of you think Caesar is a very stupid man? Everybody press 1.5 because that motherfucker is dumb. So my man Travel Squad says, flying to Clark, fly out of Manila. You'll need 2 days in Manila, my opinion. Okay. Shout out to my man, Mr. Pissed Off Bus Driver. Let's not be pissed off for too long. Appreciate you coming through and showing love to the good doc. He says, I think all men on that show are stupid. I think it's a show, and I think we need to look at it as the show. It has to have this, how can I say it? It has to be shit. For entertainment purposes, I think these men are forced to do this shit. That's what I'll say. Nobody's that stupid. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Shout out to my boy White American Expat, Tacloban City. I hope it's treating you well. He says it gets 110 on a hot day. Yeah, so it is. I guess 120 is possible. My boy Travel Squad says Caesar is the kind of guy that takes selfies with puppy ear filters and tries to marry strippers. Dude, Caesar got me feeling a certain kind of way, man. I can't fucking deal with that guy right now. He makes my head hurt. He makes my heart hurt because he's making us look really bad. Caesar is making these motherfuckers look really, really bad. And I can't go that far. My man Edward says, keep your Filipina fed. Don't learn the hard way like me. Keep your Filipina fed. I promise you. That is the y'all think I'm joking, man. If you feed her, she will come. Figuratively and literally. And I'm not saying anymore. I'm done. If you feed her, she will come. Figuratively and literally. Y'all think I'm joking. Y'all think this is a game. Y'all think I don't know. But I'm telling you. Trust me. And only when my man said that shit, did I realize that that is the truest statement ever made. Filipinos love to be fed, man. Ahmed, you don't have to see Ahmed though. You said you will feed a Filipina in Manila. Well, of course, I would hope that you would. But what I want you to do is make sure that you spend responsibly. Okay, just make sure you spend responsibly. You can go to a fast food restaurant and you'll still probably get the same results. Okay. My man Denfort Alexandre. If I said your name wrong, I am so sorry, but appreciate you coming through and showing love. Guys, make sure you get the likes up on the video. Doc is here to edutain. I hope you guys are picking up a little bit of what I'm putting down because I promise you this, it'll definitely be a way to do. Definitely be a great way to go about it. All right. So my man says he's visiting the Philippines. I'm sorry. He says, is there any other country do I plan on visiting? Yes, I do plan on going other places. Don't think the Philippines is my know-all be-all. It just so happens this was where I grew up at. I came here for college. I spent the majority of my time here, but Japan, Korea, definitely some places in the Middle East. I've been to other places in the Middle East. So yeah, I do got a travel criteria that I'm going to meet. I give myself at least 1 or 2 new places every year, just as a baseline for me to get out and see the world. So this is not everything for me. It just so happens to be the place that I know the most about. So if you hear me talking about it, it's because, I spent a lot of time here and that's just how I, navigate very well. But I do plan on going to other countries, probably in the Asian area for sure. But, in due time, man, I want to make sure that if I do this, I do it the right way. All right. MD says you have to go out there to meet them in person. How long is too long for you to make them wait before you go there? It just sucks, man. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's a hard pill to swallow. Just don't give them the expectation that you're going to be there and you not show up. That is the worst thing you can do to a Filipina. I'm telling you, Filipinas hold on to every word that you say. My girl get pissed off at me when I'm late. I'll be like, yeah, babe, I'll meet you at a certain time. If I'm not there at that time, I'm getting the stink face. You understand? So if you say you're going to do something, most Filipinos hold you at your word. You understand? And that's all I'm going to tell you. You got to be real with your words. If you say you're going to be there at a certain time, just be there. Don't keep delaying it, because if you keep delaying it, that shit ain't going to never work out. You're just giving somebody like myself the opportunity to take advantage of her dismay to an extent. You're just giving somebody the advantage, like she's so happy that you're coming, then you don't show up. Now she's depressed, and now she's looking for somebody to be that shoulder to cry on and lean on and shit. You're just opening the doors for somebody else to slide in and get what you were supposed to get. So imagine you put in 2-3 weeks of all this talking about how you go be there, how you gonna do this, how you go do that. Then all of a sudden you thinking you're doing what you need to do to, open them doors and open them floodgates just a little bit. All you're doing is buttering her ass up for somebody else. Cause trust me, the craziest experience was how I ended up entertaining a young lady and getting it within less than 5 hours. It was the craziest experience of my life. I'll never tell the story. Maybe I'll put it in the BOOTYLOO Chronicles Part 2. Maybe I'll do that. But, it took me only a certain amount of time. And basically, it was because she had her heart broken. I just so happened to be in the right place at the right time. and I kind of utilized it to my benefit like I would in any other situation. When I was younger, of course, I'm a grown-ass man now. I don't do things like that. I'm a little bit more less corrupt to an extent. I'm a little bit more human, and I kind of do things a little bit differently nowadays. But in all honesty, you butted that ass up, you let her down. Trust me, the next dude is gonna get it. He's gonna get it so fast because all that dude is gonna do is take advantage of the situation in which you left her in. And most Filipinas, like we talked about, the broken ones, the damaged ones. Hate to say this, and I don't want it to seem rude, but they are easily able to be taken advantage of. So, guys, if you break a Filipina's heart, you're only making it easier for the next guy, for the most part. Okay? So don't do them like that. I promise you, don't make promises you can't keep. That's all I'm gonna tell you, bro. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. Trust me. Jedi, you asked me how long am I staying in the Philippines this time? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I might do a couple more months here, man. It seems like it's probable. We'll see. I don't know. Travel Squad, he says, do not bring them to the U.S. You have to know what happens when you are not there. You become another source of income. If you're not retired, have fun and no love. But he was talking about having a baby, like bringing the baby and all of that shit. That's a lot to. It's a lot to. It's a hard pill to swallow when there's a kid involved. That's what I will say. My man Adrian says penalized like corn. He said, I mean, corny lines. It's a good way to break the ice and make them smile. I agree. The cornier, the better. As long as they understand it, the cornier, the better, man. I can't deal with 90 Day Fiance talk. That shit makes my head hurt. SML says, I was listening to an old show with you and Jay when old boy came on, and I never heard you laugh so loud. Dude, the shit was funny, man. I was like, what, American X-Men? I was like, say what? Dude, the shit was funny. I thought somebody was trolling. I'm sorry. The shit was true. It was real. It was truth, man. My man Ahmed says, how far is AC from Manila? About 3 hours or so. 8 hours if you take a bus, I think. I think you can fly down there straight to Clark. Find a way to fly to Clark if you want to go to AC. It'll just make the trip a whole lot easier. Vietnam is where I want to go visiting Southeast Asia. Japan is my other choice in Asia. I want to do Japan and Korea. My brother's been there, and I just want to spend some time with the homie. So, yeah, that'll probably be my thing. My man Eyes On says, I plan on moving to the Philippines, so the heat is important. Bring a person who has seizures a lot. You might want to stay indoors, family. Shout out to the homie Eric Gonzalez. What's good with you, bro? Travis Squad says they don't realize how much plane tickets cost. Online dating is you have great choices when there's boots on the ground. They ask for money before you meet. Run. Yeah, I can't really disagree with any of that. Ahmed, I do love Airbnb's family. If y'all want to get my link to my Airbnb, all you gotta do is look in the description area below. I'm telling you, get $40 off, homie. If y'all want that $40, knock that out. You can look down in the description area below for sure. My man MD says, I waited 3 years before I met my wife in person. I am one lucky dude. True that. He says she never gave up on me. I'm glad I waited that long to go to the Philippines, but at the same time, I wish I went there sooner. Like I said, it's a give and take in all of it, my friend. Give and take in all of it. So I understand that in some situations, it's better to wait a little bit longer to make sure things are for real. But the longer you wait, you could, as long as I just feel like I think the only problem that us men have is when we start making promises we can't keep. Only issue I think most men have. So as long as you're not guaranteeing anything and you're keeping it realistic in all aspects, I think you're fine. I think you're good to go. Jared says, I got a $600 ticket from Davao to Davao from JFK, man. Shit. It's not bad at all, bro. Are you flying out? Yeah, JFK out there in New York. Shout out to JFK. I always fly through JFK when I come home. So big shout out to that airport. MD, you can't forget about South Korea, man. Shit, I'm curious about that place. I ain't gonna lie. We had some fun back in the day, man. No doubt, man. We definitely Loving Life in the Philippines is a cult classic. It will always be a cult classic. So No doubt, man. I enjoyed those shows. Definitely enjoyed all of the time that we had there. And then definitely, well, we should do it again. But I think my man is on a whole new wave right now. So be it, man. It is what it is. Doc is going to continue pushing forward and keeping up with the content the best way I know how. My man, Essential Classic says, am I better off traveling to the Philippines alone? Yes, please do. By yourself. Ahmed, yes, I do plan on going to Thailand sometime soon. Eric, HT is good, man. He was in the chat, I think, last week. My live stream last Friday. If I didn't block it already, I think I unlisted it already. My bad. But he was with us last week, so he's still good. Still doing his trucking videos. I'm trying to get my boy on so we could do a live together. I think that's gonna be fun. So as soon as he can find time, in the meantime, in between time, we're definitely gonna get right. But he's still around. I hope that we can get him on the channel very, very soon. My man Travel Squad says, how much are typical Airbnbs? I have never stayed in one. I spent a lot of money on my trip, all hotels. Typical prices for Airbnbs depends on how long you stay. You can actually plug in a price, like if you have a range of $300 a month, if that's what you want, just basically put in for 1 month from the time that you're going to stay to the time that you're going to leave, and then put in the price range of 300. They'll give you what you want, so you can specify what you're looking for within the price range that you want, and you'll pretty much figure it out yourself. I don't want you to spend no more money than you have to. Again, like I said, boots on the ground. If you're looking to stay longer, you're going to have to walk around and find places locally that you can actually physically see for yourself to see if it's worth your time to stay in that place for a significant amount of time. Jedi says, it said, have I ever been to Cambodia? I have not been to Cambodia yet, but it is on my list of places to go. I cannot front. It's not towards the top of that list, but it's definitely on my list of places to go. And I do plan on heading out to those particular areas soon. Like I said, man, I'm not going to shortchange myself and stick specifically to the Philippines. I know the Philippines pretty well to an extent. I'm not great. I'm no expert, but I know it pretty well. So, like I said, there'll always be room for me to check out new places, and I'll put Cambodia on there. No doubt. My man MD says, not all Filipinos are the same. True. My wife was very patient, but she made sure that we talked at least 359 days a year on cam before I decided to go there. 359 out of 365. That's dope, man. I mean, some girls are willing to be patient. And, if you're lucky enough to be with a young lady that's patient, that's just truth, man. You can't really shit on that. No doubt. Eyes On says, she's willing to hug me if I come there, so I'm between home plate and first now. Bruh. Eyes On, I think you need to let that one go, family. But if that's your girl, man, if that's your love, I can't come between you and yours. My man says, I'll take it back. We wanted 2 years before I left to go visit her. Okay, so it was 2 years and not 3 years. Okay. Again, gentlemen, you have to be realistic in your expectations. A lot of guys are unrealistic in their expectations of Filipinas, which is why they end up heartbroken, detached, and fucked up. Everybody's feelings get hurt. All of a sudden, we got people in, panties in a bunch crying and shit because, their girlfriend did this and did that because they heard that they weren't going to do this and do that. And when they did do this and do that, it broke them. So you cannot have expectations for anything. You just have to be realistic. That's all. I believe in not making promises you can't keep. Trust me. Don't make promises you don't plan on keeping. Trust me. It'll be the end of it all. It'll definitely hurt you in the long run, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that I've talked enough, man. Talked enough to give myself a fucking headache, bro. All right, so let me go ahead and shout out my people real quick. Let's show some love to my folks. Shout out to, he says, are the Koreans taking over? Yeah, in Cebu they are. Cebu is Little Koreatown or Big Koreatown. I don't know, shit. They're all over that bitch. Anyway, shout out to my boy Mr. Carl Holler, my boy Jedi MD, Eyes On. I see you guys. That's Mel. Good to see you. The homie Edward Crandell, much love to you. Travel Squad, the homie Eric Gonzalez, much love to you. Ahmed Global, appreciate you spending some time with the good doc. Essential Classics, I see you, family. The homie Andy, always good to see you, man. Good to see you back. My boy Jared is cool. Appreciate you being here. Shit. Jedi, if I didn't get you, I'm getting you now. Adrian, man, good to see you here, brother. Appreciate you being a part of the Dr. Mike TV family. Denfort, Alexandre. Love the name, man. I just can't. I can't get it right. I'm sorry if I messed it up. But much love to you, White American Expat. I see you in the building. My boy, Mr. Pissed Off Bus Driver. Let's put a smile on that face. You don't always got to be angry, homie. Anyways, Christian, appreciate you being here, fellow traveler. Rain Man, always a pleasure, my dude. NY Mets fan, appreciate you being here. Reggie Dollars, always a pleasure, my dude. Appreciate you being here. Shit. Let me get you all. If I didn't get your name, or if you want your shout out, leave it down at the bottom. My boy Tim H, I see you, family. Appreciate you being here. My boy Lamont Taylor, appreciate you being here, homie. Tommy's Philippine Journey, appreciate you being here. El Ghost, Dante Will, see you in the building. My boy Chaz, aka Mr. Charlie Sullivan himself, appreciate you being here, bro. Fellow traveler, if I didn't say it, I'm saying it now. Probably said it again. The homeboy Frederick Mason from the great state of North Carolina, appreciate you being here. And that's it, people. That is every single last one of y'all. Let me scroll down to the bottom, make sure I didn't miss any names. SML says, hint, like I said, Dr. Mike need to leave these shows up since they have good information. Hell nah, man. Somebody gonna come back and use that shit against me. That's why I block them. Look, if y'all don't know how this works, let me tell you exactly how this works. I leave all of my live streams up for one whole month. So all of the live streams that I do within the month of October, you can only watch them in the month of October. After the month of October is up, once November 1 hits, I usually just block them. You understand that? I don't know why. I just do that. I do them because I'd be like, man, if they're not here to listen to them or they don't catch it within the first 5 or the first month or the first couple of days that the live stream is up, I don't think they care to listen to it after a while. So, like I said, I put too much information in here. Somebody gonna use that shit against me one day, so that's why I block them. I'll be like, nah, man, I'm good. I keep them up long enough for you to catch them. If you don't watch them within the designated time frame, then you just not gonna hear them. You know, I love y'all to death, but ain't none of y'all about to get me in trouble. I'm just fucking with y'all, but I'm being real. Lakers are leading in the third with 4 minutes left. Okay, Raymond, I appreciate that, bro. I'm gonna try to see if I can catch the game online or somewhere in the Philippines on basketball TV. They might be showing it. SML, you know I'm prone to trouble, right? You know they be fucking with me. You know I'm good, man. I'll be all right. My man says, is there any country I can go to study and get my degree for free? And is the U.S. would recognize my degree? If yes, how do I get enrolled in which one? I've never heard of a country where you can get a free education. I think that if you are in Germany and a German citizen, they send their kids to college for free, but that is the only country where I've ever heard of somebody getting a free college education. But it's not necessarily free. It's paid for by the higher taxes that they pay in that country. But that's the only place that I've ever heard of. Check Germany. I don't know how that works for U.S. citizens, but yes, because it is part of the EU, that is a highly recognizable degree. I'm not sure how that works for you as a foreigner going into the country, but I did hear that in some universities in Germany, you can get a free education. I'm not sure if that is just for the locals or if that could apply to you as well. I'm not sure. You might want to do your research on that one. But I've never heard of a place where you can go and get a free education. Unfortunately, except Germany, exactly. Ahmed Global says, I know I have to take something from my stomach because of the food. Yeah, you can just bring something with you. It shouldn't be too much of a big deal. I don't know. What do they recommend? Pepto-Bismol or some shit? Something like that. Just to keep your stomach down. I mean, just be careful with the street food, man. As a matter of fact, I made a video that I just put on Patreon last week, Sunday, about how to deal with eating street food. I made a video on that. So, guys, make sure you check out everything listed in the link in the description area below. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I enjoyed delivering it. Right now, my damn throat hurts because I talk too damn much. And I'm sure somebody's going to have something to say about that. So, for all of those who care, or get on my nerves about what I do on my own channel, they can all blow me. Sincerely, I mean, I'll just let you deep throat all of this, and you can take it to the grave, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it has been fun, it has been real, but you know what time it is? It is time for the good doc to go. So with that being said, the good doc is officially out. At least not copa alam, which means I'm going now. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.